Ah, yes, come in. Our featured presentation is about to start. You have entered into cult cinema with the dastardly evil Cheese Film and my partner in crime, Hecubus. This is the Grindhouse Podcast. We're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome, see, to the Grindhouse Podcast. I'm your host, Cheese Film, and I'm joined with Mr. Mr. Hecubus, and we're gonna do a couple noir movies this month. We're gonna do a little mini celebration right before Thanksgiving. Noir November.
No, all four of them are.
All four of them? Well, we started this month with Coraline. Coraline's not really noir.
No,
noir
but
movie.
it's not bright. It's dark.
It's a pretty dark story.
Yeah.
This one and next week will be
Next week,
straight up noirs.
Next week is
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet, which is the noirest movie ever friggin' made. I swear to God.
You know, a lot
It's
of
so
people
dark.
think this one is.
Well, this is the first, the one where they, because
All the
noir
trope
started off
stuff.
as horror, and then they moved it over to this crime kind of stuff,
Mhm.
and this is the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are we
But that
talking
is the
about?
darkest one. The
Yeah.
Maltese Falcon.
Well, I like to build some suspense up to it. I've noticed that I've been doing that. I kind of like that, where I'll say, and this is a story. Well, this one is the Maltese Falcon. This is
It's not like this. It's
No.
a hard-boiled detective drama.
I think I'm gonna put a black and white filter over this video. But it's a
1941.
1941 crime. I would say I don't know what I would call this, because it's not
It's
your
film noir.
average like crime film noir. It's
Right,
not
so
like
he's not a
detective
cop.
film noir.
He's a detective, though.
He is a detective, but it's not like Chinatown is, or it's not like
Another dark one, but yeah.
Double Indemnity is. Like, he's not like after an affair or some seedy thing. Like, it's almost like a heist kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it is more heisty.
Yeah. Which to me lends more of a higher energy, edge of your seat kind of feeling to it, because everybody's got a secret. Everybody's shady
liar.
as hell.
Yeah.
Everybody's a liar. And the way it all pays off in the end, I think, is
It's great.
genius. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's the best way to go. But it is starring now.
Well, hang on.
acclaimed-
Was that the intro?
Well, yeah. It was the
Okay,
intro.
so your initial reaction.
My initial reaction to the Maltese Falcon was, wow, this is really good.
Amazing. I was blown away at how
Yeah.
great it is,
Because my first Bogart movie was Casablanca,
which is phenomenal.
and this is my second one.
Yeah.
So this is like my fourth,
Mine
fifth
too.
time
I
seeing
watched
it.
Casablanca first and then this.
And I was like, well, because that one's kind of like, the tough guy love story.
Yeah.
This one's more
It's so good.
of a tough guy, cool guy movie.
Yeah.
And I like how they complement each other.
I think they do too.
But-
And to have and have not and the big sleep too. To
Yeah.
mention more Bogart things. But my initial reaction was, this is one of the greatest movies ever made.
It's so good.
I heard about this movie 40 plus years after it came out. And this is why. Because it's that good.
And I heard about it probably 40 years after that.
Yeah, literally. And it's that good.
It is. It's something.
It's
I don't know. If
totally dated, and that's fine.
well, it's a time capsule.
It really is.
It
Yeah.
feels like the 40s. It's shot like the 40s. It's shot like a movie in the 40s. Everything about it is
Yeah. Of
right
that time.
there.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's in any kind of like it's a Warner Archive stuff, but like not in like the Library of Congress or anything like that.
Well, it was one of the first 25 movies that got inducted into that.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was in there.
Yeah, it is. It was one of
It
the first ones they
deserves.
picked. Yeah, it
Good,
totally
because
does.
For those Randy official fans, what is that? What
Like the government has like a vault of culturally significant movies,
And this is one of them.
Well, when they first picked 25 of them, this was one of them
do you know why?
because it's friggin' awesome.
No, do you know why? Like they have the vault.
It just to appreciate art and
Alright.
you know what I mean. It's a
Well, like
museum.
these are staples of this type of.
Yeah.
I just had never
Art
heard
form.
of that.
Yeah, it's an American thing. It's
Yeah.
they're all American movies.
And it's not anything like prestigious either. It's just what
It's kind of prestigious because it's everything's not in it, But
Well, I just mean,
but
like, you
it's
don't
not
have
like
to be an art scholar to enjoy the films. They're
Right,
not
no,
art
that.
movies. They're
And it's not like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame where they have a building. It's you don't want to go there and look at film canisters. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? That'd be
'cause that's what
boring.
they are.
Yeah.
I actually have Kino Lorber put out and it's Library of Congress sealed or whatever, but it's Stanley Kubrick's Fear and Desire.
Oh, nice.
And it's really nice. It's awesome. And I would like to have one of this too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of how much I enjoy this movie.
Yeah, it is just so great.
Not to like just collect these things, but like to appreciate what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that good.
Yeah, I watched it on streaming, and well, initially I watched it on VHS,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't get to you don't appreciate it the way you do if you got a thing like that.
Yeah, if you can pick it up and hold it.
That's very cool.
I kind of hate the way the cover of it looks for me because it's all red with the outline of an eagle and then Bogart's face. The Warner 4K we have a picture of it. I think you just labeled it Humphrey Bogart, but it's him. He's looking down at an angle.
Oh, the Maltese Falcon kind of poster one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. It's not the original.
The
one.
original poster, I think, is phenomenal, and I wish people.
I think
start
the newer ones are more phenomenal.
You like them better?
Yeah, way better.
We got like the top of that, and then the bottom, it's them at the table.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
But man, there's something I like those oil painting arts. I don't know. I think it's because of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, right.
Because not even like I like the Star Wars ones, but the Indiana Jones specifically,
right,
are so cool.
They are,
and it gives a younger guy like me an appreciation for how they used to be. Because I just love them. I eat them up. I really do.
Yeah,
this whole room would have them in it if I had them. But moving on.
Okay. All right. Let's do the director/character stuff.
I like how we have to have this. We're
look
so
down at
bad
it.
at keeping to our own form.
All right. This is John Huston's first movie.
Mm.
John Huston also directed The African Queen,
yes,
which we did not too long ago. Treasure Sierra Madre, Key Largo. Those are also Humphrey Bogart movies. He also directed Moby Dick and Annie. Moby Dick with Gregory Peck, the Moby Dick movie, and Annie, the movie from like 1981 that drove everybody crazy with tomorrow, all that. He's the one that directed that. He's also the bad guy from Chinatown. The guy who had sex with his daughter. He's that guy. He's Gandalf in the Rankin and Bask Hobbit movies.
Yes,
in The Hobbit and Return of the King.
Mm-hmm.
And
didn't he also direct the Asphalt Jungle?
Yes, he did direct the Asphalt Jungle.
That's another big film noir one.
Yeah. I always get it confused with something else though about a high school that was also very good. Anyway, he's in Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And I had to look up who he is. He's the lawgiver guy.
Yes. Because his voice is Gandalf. When we were watching Chinatown and when we were watching Battle of the Planet of the Apes, I was like, I know that voice.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't know he was the one directing these movies.
He's in the Black Cauldron too. He also wrote the screenplay, which was an adaptation of a novel by Dashiell Hammett, who wrote a lot of these kind of hard-boiled detective ones. I'm sure we'll get to them. The Big Sleep he didn't do. That's Raymond Chandler, but Dashiell Hammett, you could recognize that. Stars Humphrey Bogart. Who's in everything that's great.
Grindhouse podcast alumni.
Yes.
Bogart.
And that makes us in the Rat Pack.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, because the Rat Pack was I think I said that during.
Yeah, they hung out at his house.
His house. Him
How
and
cool
Laura McCall.
Do you have to be?
Yeah.
Where the 4 coolest guys hang out at your place.
Right. I want to hang out with your place. And I think he might have named it too.
He's the Rat Pack.
Because he's a pretty, really. Mary Astor plays the femme fatale.
Mm-hmm.
She's Howard Hawks' sister-in-law.
Oh, really?
She's in a lot of stuff. She started in silent movies and had a hard time transitioning over to talkies. But by 41, she was, I think, great at it. Peter Lorre.
Oh, man. Again, another Grindhouse alumni.
Yes, and Warner Brothers cartoon hero. Because any kind of weirdo, he's in them. His first movie is called M. It's a German movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kills children.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is terrifying. In 1930 something, because it's in Germany right before, because he left before the Nazis took over. To have a movie that looks like that, like an old movie about a guy who kidnaps and kills children, it's just chilling. It's terrible, and he looks so weird.
And he's an underrated actor. I feel like
he is underrated and prolific back then. He was in a lot of stuff.
He was in a lot of stuff with Vincent too.
That was where his career ended up. He was in a lot of Roger Corman stuff. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where you get a lot of his caricature stuff.
I think so too.
Because he's usually either a goon, or
a weasel,
or something like that.
Yeah.
So when you've got him hamming it up,
yeah,
that's kind of where it goes. Or it's a flanderization of his own image,
right?
Like he just was that at that point.
Yeah,
but he's so good. He's a great actor. He's in Casablanca too.
He's in Casablanca too.
Really, any movie of that time era, you can throw a dart and you're probably going to hit him.
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
He's everywhere. He was also the first one to play a Bond villain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a TV movie of Casino Royale, and he plays Le Chiffre, who later gets played by Mads Mikkelsen. And I never saw this one.
And he knocked it out of the park?
Casino Royale is a great James Bond movie. A lot of people don't like Daniel Craig, but that one is great.
Was that one or Quantum of Solace affected by the writers' strike?
Probably would be Quantum of Solace, because that one, I didn't even know it came out until it was on video.
Oh, wow.
And I like that one too. All right. So, and Elijah Cook Jr., who plays a heavy in this, he's in The Big Sleep. Shane, which we have to do because one time on Happy Days, the Fonz says to, I think it's Richie. Richie says he never saw Shane, and he's like, "You never saw Shane." And he was all appalled. It's like he didn't even want to touch him anymore. That kind of appalled. I'm like, well, what's up with that movie? The Fonz is right.
I haven't seen
brilliant.
Shane.
It is so good. He was in Casablanca too, and they died with it. Oh no, that was Sidney Greenstreet. Sidney Greenstreet is the fat man. He did not like being on camera. He came from English theater, and this is his first movie, and he was terrified all the time.
They did him dirty.
What do you mean by that?
So one of the most recent times I watched this, I watched it at a movie night with my friends. And we're doing a puzzle, and I'm glued because I love this movie so much.
Yeah, you can't keep your eyes off it.
That shot where he's talking to Humphrey Bogart right as he poisons him.
Yeah,
it's just like of his gut.
Yeah, it's he fills the whole screen. I love that part,
and it's supposed to be to show how imposing and big he is.
Right,
but man, does it look like you got the wrong angle on that guy and you just made him look fat.
I guess I don't know. You say wrong and they did him dirty, but I think it was perfect. And there's a lot of that kind of stuff.
He's a fat cat.
He's a big fat cat.
Where human beings are framing stuff in the picture.
Yes,
like he's on this side.
He's on this side,
and then like they're talking to Peter Lorre or somebody behind him, or the cops. The cops. I don't have a picture of that. At one point, the cops are interrogating Sam, and it's just them two, and they're dark in silhouette, and he's lit up. John Huston did a great job in this.
He's
movie.
Got such an eye for good photography.
So that's it for
cast
and all that kind of stuff. So now we can get into the plot.
So
the meat of the story.
The meat of the story kind of revolves around. It said somebody stole a diamond or a gem encrusted.
It's a solid gold. All right. The Knights Templar kind of people got the island of Malta to be their home from the King of Spain. And he said, you got to pay me a tribute every year. So instead of sending them, this Sidney Greenstreet says all this in the movie, a lot of exposition, and you don't mind. Instead of sending them a bird, they get a solid gold falcon and encrust it with jewels and stuff from the best ones they can get.
Yeah.
On the way, they put it in a galleon, and that sinks somehow. It's lost. Pirates get it. Something happens. And then over the next few hundred years, it keeps turning up in different places. One guy puts a black coating over it of enamel, and now that's what it looks like. It's a black figurine of a bird. It's about that big. The thing weighed 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
The actual prop weighed 50 pounds. And Mary Astor and who's the guy she says to follow? She shows up at Spade and Archer's detective agency and wants is that what she wants? She wants somebody to follow the other guy.
Yeah, because they think he had it.
Right. Yeah.
And they're after it.
Right. And he ends up dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they make a point of saying his guns were still in his pocket. He didn't even try to shoot the person who shot him.
But then they hear that the real one, because it was a fake, they find out that was fake.
They don't find out it's fake till the end. You just spoiled the whole movie.
Well, no, because
no, they think it's the real thing. He's
willing to give a shipment.
It's on a boat coming over here, yeah. And then the boat captain, who's also part of the people that, all right, they stole it from Sidney Greenstreet. It was going to go to him, and Peter Lorre was going to facilitate that. Mary Astor and, man, I wish I remember the character's name who gets killed. Off screen, you never even see him. They take it, and the Captain Willoughby is in on it. He's going to bring it to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie revolves around these characters jockeying for position, and Humphrey Bogart's kind of in the middle, playing both sides against each other.
Yeah.
He doesn't even care about it. He just wants some money. Sidney Greenstreet offers him like $25,000 or a quarter of what it's worth, which could be up to, he would get $250,000.
Right. Back in 1940.
Back in 1941, yeah. So even the $10,000 and all that, it's a lot of money. And that's where it goes. And then they end up, I can have it here, by morning, they all spend the night together, bitching at each other, basically, and stabbing each other in the back. And the bird shows up, and it's a fake.
But I thought Bogart said it's also a fake, like implying that there was one earlier that they found.
No,
and this is like a whole scam. I don't know.
No.
I thought at some point there was that's why this one was so important, because the one the other guy had, he knew was fake. That's why they killed him. That's why. He didn't put up a fight.
But that's not Humphrey Bogart. Don't have anything to do with that. It was. I don't think it was even a fake. I think he just stole it and gave him a box full of garbage.
Yeah, I think that's it. Because the courier has it. He's like, deliver this at this exact spot,
right?
This exact time.
Yep.
And all that kind of stuff. And Humphrey Bogart at the end almost kind of tries to steal for himself.
Kind of, yeah.
You know? Like they said they're gonna meet up here. He's got it going somewhere else.
Yeah, he puts it in the bus station terminal.
Yeah.
A locker there. Then has his girl go get it.
But yeah, I guess I spoiled that. Big reveal. When they actually
fake.
get their hands on it, it's fake.
And that's cool hells too, because
was the story ever real, or
right.
was this all just a fabric? It's like literally like a fairy tale.
Yeah, it is.
And that you kind of got suckered into.
And the last line. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, he's carving at it. He's like, "This is lead. This isn't real." It sets it down. He laughs. He's like,
"Yeah."
Well.
And he's all ready to go on finding it. He's like, "Well, I guess I'm going to take another 14 months," and then ask Humphrey Bogart if he wants to join him, because this motley crew of malcontents he fits right in with. But that last line, where the cop asks him, "What is this?" It's the last line. I say that on purpose. The cop says, "What is that?" And he said, "It's the stuff that dreams are made of." Humphrey Bogart came up with that, and it's a kind of a take on a Shakespeare thing. But somebody on here online says that that's not the last line. The last line is the cop going, "No, that's the last line."
That's not a line. That's a breath.
Stupid. Yeah, that's stupid.
That's dumb.
But Humphrey Bogart. Oh, another thing. John Huston got a note from the Warner Brothers they have him talk a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
And since this was his first movie and he didn't want to blow it, that's why everybody talks like that. And all the movies after this, where everybody's talking like this and then they cutting each other off and all this kind of stuff, it's because of that note from that John Huston got.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, but
what a trendsetter this movie was.
It really was.
So the three prop things of the Falcons, they do exist. Still,
yeah,
and they are about $1 million each.
Yeah,
get your hands on. So
they ironically cost now as much as they would the real one would have cost then.
Yeah, I think that's kind of funny.
I think that's amazing. That's why I kept telling you to shut up earlier. I was gonna say that too. Yeah. There's 3 of them left, and they cost about $1 million each.
I was talking about just getting a 3D printed one.
Yeah,
maybe I'll splurge and get the real one.
Yeah, okay.
Shout out to Patreon.
Yeah, we'll go halves.
But yeah, that's kind of the overall plot of the movie is just who's gonna get it in the end.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Right. And who's gonna pay for Miles Archer? Because they need a fall guy, and that's a great line too, where it's framed like that. Give him. Humphrey Bogart says it to the Gunsel. There's another thing we could talk about, but he knows they don't care. They think they're going to do their business and leave.
Right. And
he's stuck holding the bag for at least 3 murders.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, that's not going to happen. I'm way smarter and savvier than that. And he's like, give him.
I think that's really funny because I always kind of equated it to there's that song. What is that song called? Where go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend.
Yeah.
And this is a huge song about
the Billy Jack theme.
Yeah. And like it's a whole thing about how it doesn't matter. Kill everybody you need. Because at the end it'll all be justified. And the treasure they find is just that peace on earth is anything you need. They go through all this stuff. They murder so many people. They're all stabbing each other in the back.
Yep.
To get arrested. All for it to it's just a nice decoration. It's nothing. It means nothing.
Nothing.
And he did all that for absolutely nothing.
That's what's so great about it too.
And it's lasting. It's a long-lasting kind of premise.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It is pretty timeless. It's timeless and of its time too. Because he doesn't really treat a secretary like less than him or anything.
No, she's kind
of a partner in the firm. But he is having an affair with his partner's wife. And now he don't want to have anything to do with her. He's like, you got to get rid of her. And they keep calling the cops. Anyway, you can pull up this one that's my favorite part. Peter Lorre comes to hire Sam Spade to get the Maltese Falcon because he knows that Mary Astor had already been there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's taking off his gloves and he's kind of grilling him for information. But Humphrey Bogart's savvy to it too. And they're just such good actors. And then he pulls out a little tiny gun. He's like, you're going to put your hands behind your neck and I'm going to search you in your office. Humphrey Bogart takes the gun from him, bitch slaps him, knocks him out. And then now that they're on an even keel, he starts talking with Peter Lorre after he wakes up. And starts collecting up his stuff. And he's like, well, okay. And if you can find it, I'll give you $5,000 and all this kind of stuff. Can I have my gun back, please?
Yeah.
And he gives him his gun back. You're going to put your hands behind your head. He's just like laughing. Like, go ahead. I ain't going to stop you. I love that part. He's like, so you'll be here and I can give you $5,000 and then blah, 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 blah. You're going to put your hands behind it just like that. Can I have my gun back, please?
I pointed that out too. Like, he asked for it back. He gave it back to you. And he's like, all right, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I don't
shouldn't
care.
have done that.
I'm not going to stop you.
Those 2 of the, because there's 8 of the original Falcon props. And 2 of them are made out of lead, the 50-pound ones.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder why, because I don't think lead's cheap. and they're not small.
Well, it is pretty cheap, and it's not. I don't know why would you need more than
One.
2.
It's heavy.
One just
heavy.
in case.
Lead
Yeah.
is like, and it's dense, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
They might have had it made out of lead, so it had some heft, and it would look like it was made out of gold, or that like it was supposed to be made out of gold. But why you would need 8 of them? I don't know.
Well, 6 of them are plastered.
Yeah, why
just fake ones? But why? Yeah, it's just you're gonna have 8 on hand, because none of them are put in a position where they can be broken.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's kind of overkill a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of overkill.
Would there be parts in the thing where they could have shot 2 different scenes at the same time?
No,
theory?
not with the Falcon prop.
No, yeah,
It only comes at the very, very end.
it's not even really in it.
No, that's in the beginning and during the credits, and at the very, very end, and that's it.
Because every time you see what could be it's wrapped in
Yeah,
paper and in
Right.
a bag and
Money laundering.
could not even be there. Yeah, it's money laundering. I've noticed this a lot too. The IMDb trivia page on this said that Humphrey Bogart had to supply his own clothes.
Oh yeah, to save money.
I don't personally think that's true.
Really?
I think he just had them, and that's just how he dressed.
I bet that is.
and
exactly
they were
how he
like, you
dressed.
know what? Don't even worry about it. He just
Right.
come in what you want to wear, and he just
And he kind of wears the same thing throughout the whole movie.
yeah. He just
Whereas
in a
Mary
suit.
Astor, they probably got her a wardrobe, and instead of paying money for 2 people, I bet everybody wore their own clothes. I
He's
bet
like,
Peter
I'm
Lorre, he's
not-
got tuxedos and stuff. I bet it's his.
Yeah, I'm not. I was like, I'm not gonna sit down in costumes and
Right.
put that on just to take it all off. I'll show up in my suit and I'll leave in my suit. That's how we're gonna do this.
Yeah. See?
And then he's like, well, all right, well, I guess we'll save money that way.
Yeah.
Because Reservoir Dogs kind of infamously did that too, where the budget was so low,
Right.
everybody just wore their own clothes.
Right.
So it's not out of the ordinary for an actor to have to
Come
bring
up with
his
their own
stuff.
wardrobe. Yeah.
I mean, Humphrey Bogart's literally never not shown in a suit
Yeah.
or a shirt or dress pants. So, like, you're going to sit here and tell me that the stuff I saw him in Casablanca, he didn't just have.
Right.
Yeah, come on. He
Yeah.
didn't
He's
say-
got a great tuxedo in that one.
He's got
I
a
love
great
that
suit.
one. But that's another great scene. He's got one of these kind of phones at his house, and the phone rings in the middle of the night. The cops call him, and you see him. It's the shot of the phone against a window.
Yeah.
And he picks up the phone. You don't ever see him. He just talks, and then he hangs up the phone. Then he leans forward, and you see him. But the whole conversation takes place off camera, and the only thing you see is the stupid bass part of the phone.
Yeah.
I think that's cool as hell.
It's artsy. It's kind of artsily shot. Like, it's
Yeah.
not in like a, oh, well, why is that there? This makes no sense. But like, just every picture is
Yeah.
it's an image.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it's supposed to be. Which is how this movie, and when I criticized some of this movie, I got criticized for my criticism because everything in this thing is intentional and supposed to be how it's supposed to be and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, but I also don't think when you're showing the audience that he's been poisoned, that like you cut from one very clear shot to a second of a very, very, very blurry shot.
Right.
You know, just out of the blue. Like, there's other ways they've done stuff like that, and now then almost 30 seconds later does he start acting like he's sick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, okay, so that's what that was, but it felt out of place. That's a criticism. I'm watching this movie. I don't think that's done right. You don't tell me I'm wrong. It's all right, whatever. But a lot of the rest of the cinematography in this is just so image,
Yeah. And everything is framed great.
like painting
Yeah.
framed. Like you would see this in a museum kind
Yeah.
of thing, you know? Like,
Right.
well, and you
It is.
probably
in one.
can. But so that's kind of the whole rundown of the plot and our
Highlights.
highlights of it. What's next on our
So-
list?
Improvement. I never read the book.
I didn't either, so I don't know how accurate it is to it. And I'm
I
probably
don't
not
either.
going to.
I'm
They
never
don't
going
read.
to. I just watched this movie. It's so good.
The book isn't very long. They had it at McKay's not too long ago.
Yeah, sure.
I don't remember who wrote it, but it's,
Dashiell Hammett.
yeah. So they had it alone. in one of those nice Barnes and Noble like
Uh-huh.
pop arty kind of thing, and then they had a collection of his stuff, and it was in there
Oh,
too.
that's cool.
I was gonna get it, but I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to read this.
Right.
I'm just gonna want to watch the movie. And however good the book is, it's like kind of I don't know.
And you're going to be doing everybody as voice as the characters
As the
you already
characters,
saw.
yeah.
It kind of ruins it for the book. Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I'm sure a lot of book people will read it, but you don't have to. Just watch the movie.
just watch the movie. Well, that's kind of like how Jurassic Park is. Like the book of Jurassic Park is vastly different.
Yeah.
And just watch the movie.
Yeah.
The movie's that good that you don't have to read the book.
Right. And the book is not as fantastical because anything can
Very
happen
science.
in your imagination.
Yeah,
But anything can't happen that believable on a screen.
exactly.
And that's what makes it so beautiful about that. So improvement, I don't know. I wouldn't improve this movie at all.
Part of me would like to see this movie just remade.
Sure, you could remake this if you got the right people.
Yeah, don't just throw it to the wolves, but like get somebody who, like kind of like James Mangold, where he's got an eye for
James Mangold would be good.
good stuff.
Yeah.
And let him do it. Let him do it. Don't try to do this movie.
Right, do the book. Do
Yeah.
your version of the book. I would
'Cause
like to see that.
This movie's great, man.
Yeah. And you can't, it's perfect, pretty much.
There's no real way to make it better. Just
No.
do it again and make it your own kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
bring something else to it.
I don't know what you could bring, but people don't act this way anymore either.
Right.
And so, like, even if you said it like in a modern times, that would be even cooler.
But we're sitting here talking about this in another reality. In 2009, somebody did remake it, and it's Maltese Falcon 2009, and everybody hated it.
Yeah. That's easy to do. So the impact of this movie, one, it was one of the first 25 movies to get into the National Film Registry. Also, the 2 bombs they dropped on Japan, the 2 atomic bombs, Fat Man and Little Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Fat Man was named after Sidney Greenstreet's character in this movie.
I did know that.
I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty terrible at the same time.
How do you live after that?
Yeah. But this was a huge success when it first came out.
Oh, yeah.
This is not a cult movie.
That's like calling a bomb Darth Vader.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is.
It's like, and like, you're just going to live the rest of your life. Like, the terror that hit that country is named after
killed all those people.
That's me.
Hey, the plane that they flew him over and dropped the bombs from is called the Enola Gay. That's the pilot's mom.
Oh.
See, I didn't say the pilot's name, but his mom's name. She killed all those people.
Probably something gay.
It happens shortly after this movie comes out too, because it came out in 1941.
It did. Man. But yeah, I mean, it's a trend center for a lot of film noir.
Yeah, it really is.
A lot of stylistic things like the whole any kind of detective movie and stuff like that.
Mhm.
How he looks is what they take from it.
Yeah.
I mean, even that I'm wearing a fedora now, but it's not that same style of fedora like
Right.
Indiana Jones's fedora.
Yeah, there's another thing where Peter Lorre, Mary Aston, and Humphrey Bogart are all together, and they kind of beat up Peter Lorre.
Yeah.
And then there's a knock at the door, and it's the cops. So Humphrey Bogart goes to get it, and he's not going to be pushed around by the cops because they want to come in and look around, and he's like, no, as long as you got a warrant, then you can. Then there's a commotion, and the cops are like, I guess we're going in. And they don't believe the story they start telling them. Which is all bullshit anyway.
Right.
And they start, and that's the line, get your hats. Meaning, we're leaving. You know what I mean?
Right.
But nobody would ever say that now because nobody ever wears a hat.
They don't talk like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that's kind of cool. And it's
it is.
time capsule-y.
There's a lot of, I'm not sure because I get a lot of Bogart movies mixed up in my head, but it's either this one or Lonely Place or High Sierra where like the cops are like, hey, I'm going to talk to you downtown. Will you come downtown and talk to us?
Oh, yeah, it is this.
And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'll go downtown. Like there's no like, we need you for questioning. They're like, hey, come answer some questions.
Yeah.
Like they're all like
But another
friendly.
one, he could actually the DA who, when I was watching something like who is that guy? I know that guy. He might be a real district attorney someplace or something back then. And the district attorney wants to know about these murders that happened and why he's involved in it. And he's goes along with it for a while. And then he kind of gets up on his hind legs, as he would say. And he's like, you better keep these cops away from me. He's yelling at the DA. And if you want to talk to me again, pinch me or subpoena me, and then I'll see you at the inquest. And he just leaves. And stuff like that's just so cool.
Yeah.
And the guys are just like,
guy thing.
yeah, a tough guy thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't put up with anything.
No.
And when he is putting up with stuff, it's to get information. And then he's very smart. Great movie. Great
so
movie.
Great. Every movie we do on this podcast, we say it's such a great movie, but this one really is. This one, I mean, it is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, I've never Eraserhead. I would not tell certain people don't bother watching that because you're not gonna like it. But if you could like black and white old movies, you like that kind of stuff, absolutely watch this movie.
If you can get over the fact that it is in black and white,
right, and in the 40s, with people behaving in 40s culture, yeah, it's great because all the actors do a really good job characterizing these people.
I have 5 friends that frequent hangouts, right?
Uh-huh.
I am the only one of those 5 people who goes out of my way to watch movies from the 40s.
Yeah, they're good.
But every time I put one on, we because we're friends, will crack jokes at it.
Yeah, sure.
But they all like watching these movies,
right?
So and they're all millennial to Gen Z age.
Whenever you're done, Randy,
hit the cough button. Are you all right?
Yeah, I swallowed my spit.
But yeah, so like you got a younger generation open to watching these movies, too, which
right.
I like because not just because I like these movies, but like it
keeps them alive.
The first job I got, we're talking to kids my age, we're talking about The Godfather, and they're like, I've never even heard of that. And like to me, growing up in a house where you watch The Godfather, so I've seen parts of it and I've heard of it at the very least.
Yeah,
it's not. What are you talking about?
Right.
What's The Godfather?
You take it for granted.
Exactly.
And they are
never even heard of it.
Yeah, that's unbelievable to me.
Never even heard. Probably, arguably one of the greatest movies of all time.
The Godfather?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
That's
never heard of it. And I'm sure they hadn't heard of Citizen Kane either.
So some of these I can understand because from the 40s.
Yeah,
you know, like
they're
your
pretty damn
grandfather
old.
watched this,
Yeah.
you know? That's not from the 40s. That's still around. People still reference that movie, you know?
Right.
So, like, I don't know. I don't know. But it's nice to see things like this having a resurgence, having critical analysis. What's that term called? Anyway, where
review
is they're doing it. Man, it's a reevaluating.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're coming back in waves, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see that.
It is, especially in this day and age.
Yeah,
like with the Wizard of Oz, it used to be on once a year, and that's when you watched the Wizard of Oz. The only time you watched it. Now you watch it whenever the hell you want.
It's on TCM.
You watch it on your phone while you're riding on a bus.
Yeah, you could.
You could.
It's everything's there.
Yeah,
it's on your streaming services.
So this kind of stuff getting a second
getting some love,
yeah.
And I think it'd be so cool if I know like Regal does those Fathom events where like they'll play this for its 80th anniversary or whatever. But like I think it'd be a cool you got all movies coming out all the time, so like throw it in there. Like this is the month. This month we are going back to 1941,
right?
And we're playing movies from that time frame.
Yeah,
and I think that would get a lot of more attention.
I think it'd get some too, because a lot of people from that time aren't alive anymore.
Right.
So the only people who are going to go see it are people that were born well after it came out,
or people who are just like, oh well, I'll go see that. Why not?
Yeah.
You I'm just sitting there at McKay's in line, and I just hear kids talking about how they're going to the movies, they're gonna go see the new movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're just getting people exposed to it. Have it do that.
Yeah.
That would be such a fascinating little project to do.
Yeah, it would be.
But I don't know. That's just me. I guess that's just me. Because people like Martin Scorsese and stuff like that are trying to keep cinema alive.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Steven Spielberg,
yeah,
and a couple of those people, they went to Warner Brothers to keep TCM around because they were going to pull the plug on it.
Man, that's a bad idea.
And imagine sitting in your office.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
That
with all their Oscars.
Yeah, come in and like, no, you're not shutting this TV channel down.
Right.
But it's nice. It's nice to be able to talk about the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah.
And put that word out there, and people go watch it and just experience
something different.
Yeah.
It's different. You're not going to see a movie like this nowadays.
No, and you're going to see a lot of elements in this movie that you do see nowadays.
Yeah, right. It's really cool,
and that's why I think Citizen Kane is so important and special, because a lot of what you see in movies nowadays can be traced back to that movie.
I was looking at backgrounds, and I'm like, well, there's the ceiling. That's because of Citizen Kane. That's why I can see the ceiling here.
That's the only reason why there's ceilings in sets,
right?
Because the camera's down here. It can't just be nothing.
Like when they show those low angle shots with Sidney Greenstreet all the time, and there's a ceiling.
It's a room.
This is shot in a room. One way or another, it's 3 walls maybe, but it's still a room.
Yeah, it's little things like that go a long way for me. But I mean, overall, I would give this movie 2 thumbs up.
2
solid.
Enthusiastic thumbs up.
Yeah, because I mean, it's worth it for Bogart alone. That's the only reason
really
why
is.
I tried it out.
Yeah,
the first time was because I liked Casablanca.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Humphrey Bogart was cool guy.
Yep.
This is something else he's in.
Yeah.
That why not?
I just started watching tons of Humphrey Bogart movies after this.
I'm about to.
Yeah, I saw that.
Getting them all in. I'm gonna do a little Bogart run, and I just because he's.
Well, we're gonna do The Big Sleep too later this month.
We're doing The Big Sleep. I just got one I never heard of. The Rolling Thunder or
Chain
Lightning.
Yeah, I never heard of that either.
And maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But it's got Humphrey Bogart in it, so I'm gonna like it.
It's that part's gonna be good.
Yeah. But other than that, like I would just say go out and watch this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's on HBO Max.
Not right now.
Oh, it's not?
No, it was up until recently because I had to watch it on Tubi. But you can watch
it's
it on
Tubi. Man, we should talk to the Tubi people.
I'm trying to, man. I swear to
God. I own it. I own the Warner Brothers Blu-ray of it. It's really nice. It's got some good bonus features on it.
Yeah, and that's worth it too. I love those bonus features.
They got I think this movie's one of those it's like blooper reels.
Oh, really?
And this movie's showcasing that too. I like those old. There's one of Jimmy Stewart. I love this one where he talks to a lady and he walks away. And the camera's tracking him, and he's like, "Oh, you're following me. Oh, I didn't know that."
That's awesome.
It's fun to see that kind of stuff for because these movies are all like prim proper. They never really swore a whole lot, and then you got one, the lady doesn't know her line, and she's like, I forgot the line.
That's cool. That's cool.
This is fun.
I like that in Burt Reynolds movies, though. During the credits, they always show a blooper reel. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I would definitely check this movie out. Not just because I personally love film noir. Film noir has been mockingly my favorite genre of film for a long time.
It's entertaining as hell.
It's
just entertaining.
Captivating. You're just in it, and you're like, oh my God! And then it payoff. We spoiled it, but even going to watch it, knowing what it is, it's still worth it.
It is.
It's that good.
It is that good because I knew this time exactly what was going to happen,
and it's still
good.
But I think that's all I have to say about this movie. You have any
2
closing
thumbs
remarks?
up? You said 2 thumbs up, and you go watch, however you have to, the Maltese Falcon.
Well, Randy Official, he's 18 years old, right? So what do you think of the movie? You interested?
I thought Let me give you audio. I thought that I should watch this.
You should.
You really should.
I've seen Casablanca. Is it better than that?
It's
Well,
on par
it's-
with that. Casablanca is totally different, though.
So no.
So in terms of, would you think it would be better? No, I think you would like Casablanca better. I don't think you wouldn't like this movie. I
Right.
think you would like this movie.
You would like it.
But like, do you like the Spider-Man movies or the Batman movies better? You know, you like one of them better, but you like them both.
Right.
Fair.
You know,
I've never heard anybody say they don't like this movie.
Not once.
Never.
Not once. I guess to put it more relative to you, it's like, do you like Dragon Ball Z or do you like Jujutsu Kaisen?
You've been watching Don Da Da?
I don't even know what the word you said was.
It wasn't a word. He just went to
Don Da Da.
Donda Donda. Isn't that a song?
Shout out Don Da Da. It's really good. They're checking it out on the next episode.
Well, that coming at you next week is going to be another David Lynch movie.
Yeah, it's that Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet.
Were we on when we said that? That it says the
Yeah.
darkest film noir ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the subject matter is just so dark. Everything's brightly lit, but man, is it
It's a dark
disturbing.
story.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, well, we'll talk about it then.
All right. I still have. I've been saving it for this month
Yep.
for this podcast. I have it upstairs, and I'll be checking it out.
Yeah, you're gonna dig it.
I'm very excited for it. My expectations are high, and my excitement for it is high.
Not worried.
What's that in between you guys?
The poster?
Oh, this is my shelf of curiosities. But down below that is this really awesome Grindhouse podcast poster you can get exclusively on the Grindhouse website, linked to our merch sale.
Right.
Which is also where you can get that awesome shirt he's got.
This awesome
The hat, not this hat, but the ball
Different
cap
hat.
hat I've got.
coffee
Randy
cups.
has a hoodie,
Yep,
and
a
he's
hoodie.
got a desk mat. You can't see it because it's under his computer,
Mouse.
but he does. It's really big too.
It is.
We've got coffee cups. We've got a whole bunch
Magnets, I
of stuff.
think you said
Stickers,
too.
magnets,
Yeah, everything. You should go there and get something for somebody
Yeah,
this
'cause,
Christmas.
Look, imagine you're sitting there with your little boy named like Lorenzo, for say, and he's like, "Hi, Dad. I would like a Grindhouse podcast poster. I could put it in my room next to my dinosaurs." And you'd be a great dad for getting him that.
What if you had another son? Would you get two of them?
Yes.
Yes, you would. And guess what?
So
if
they
you have
don't
like a
fight over
wife,
'em.
you get
Get
one
her
for your
one
wife.
too, yeah.
Because they're fun for the whole family. A lot of bright colors. But to wrap things up,
Yes.
as always, I am Cheese Film,
And Hecubus.
and this has been the
The
Grindhouse
Grindhouse
Podcast. Cheese Film out.